Hey everybody, welcome to Shuttershy Photo. My name's Gary, and today we're going to be taking a look at focus stacking. Focus stacking is a really cool technique whereby you take multiple pictures of the same subject, and usually your camera is going to be on a tripod to keep it steady and in one place, and each of those pictures are going to have a different focal point. After you're done, you're going to take those pictures into a photo processing program such as Photoshop and merge them into one photo where everything's in focus. So that's what we're going to do today. We are actually going to take a picture of an old coin, and then we're going to take multiple pictures of that, and I'll walk you through that process. We're going to take all those pictures, we're going to import them into Lightroom, and then into Photoshop we are going to stack those photos into one picture where everything's in focus. So let's get started. Okay, as you see, I've got my setup here. I've got my coin, my loonie, sitting right in front of the camera, and you can see how close it is to the lens. It's probably within a few inches, 4 inches tops. And I got my camera on a tripod, and I also have a remote triggering device so that I don't have to touch the camera. I want to have as little camera shake as possible. So it's also a good idea to have the remote triggering device. You can get these on eBay for just about any camera you have, really cheap. I think I got this one for around $20. They take a little while to ship, usually about 2 weeks, but I've had it for a couple years now. It seems to work great. Okay, so I have my camera set up. I have the coin in front of the camera, and I'm ready to start taking my pictures with different focal points. One important thing to do, I'm using an Olympus OMD EM1, and no matter what kind of camera you have, odds are it's going to have some kind of focus peaking, something to help you manually focus. I'm using focus peaking, and I'm going to start turning my focus dial, the ring on my lens, to focus it, and you can see how the sparklies are changing positions. That is what's in focus. So you can see how many pictures this is going to take. Now what we can do to help this out a little bit is we can change the aperture, get a little bit more depth of field. That'll help a little bit. It's not going to be great because you have to remember this is macro photography, so there's just not a lot of depth of field in it. But let's knock it up just a little bit. I feel comfortable at 7.1 is my f-stop. Let's put this at the very corner. I want to start at the nearest point of the coin, and I have it all set. So let's go ahead and let's take our first picture. I'm going to go ahead and trigger it, and that's going to be our first picture. There it goes. Now let's just move that ring a little bit. Take another picture. Let's move a little bit more. You can see how the silver sparklies change position each time. I'm turning the dial on my lens to change the focus point. Taking another picture, doing the same thing again. And I'm just going to keep on doing that until I have a picture with all the focus points I want. So I'm going to continue to do this, and I'll meet you over in Lightroom. Okay, so here we are in Photoshop, and I know I did mention earlier that we were going to import the photos of the coins into Lightroom, but that's not actually how we're going to do it. I misspoke. What I want to do is I want to save all those files into a folder on my hard drive, which I've already done. And now what I want to do is I want to open all those files. I want to stack all those files from that folder into Photoshop. So in order to do that, in order to do the photo stacking, we have to start with the file menu, and we want to go down to scripts and load all files into a stack. Now, since I know that all the files from the coins are in a folder and there's nothing but those files of the coins in that folder, I can select that whole folder. But I need to browse to where that folder actually exists. And I know exactly where it is. Okay, so here it is. I've got my photo stacking folder, which I created on my hard drive, and I put all the pictures of the coins in the coin folder under photo stacking. So if I select the coin folder and I select OK, what you're going to see is this area is going to populate with all the pictures I took of that coin. And here they are. And they are in consecutive order. Confident that these are all of the coin. So what I can do is I can select attempt to automatically align source images. Now we can do this either now or after the fact, but it's much easier doing it now. So let's just get that over with. We will not select this option here, and we're going to select OK. Now it's going to take a few minutes to do all the processing that needs to be done in order to stack these. And now it is processing the stacking, and it's going to take a little while. So we'll give it some time, and once it's done, we'll continue on to the rest of the process. Okay, now that it's done stacking the images, what we want to do is blend each layer. So blending the layers is what's going to happen is it's going to create a mask for each layer, and it's going to concentrate on processing just the areas that are in focus across the coin, because there'll be nothing else in focus for the most part. I concentrate on the coin, the background, the wood background of the table will not be in focus, just the coin. So that's what we're going to do next. And that is very easy to do. All you have to do is click on your bottom or topmost layer, scroll up to the top or bottom, whichever one you started with. You want to go the opposite way, and then hit your shift key and click on that option, and it's going to highlight everything in between. So now everything's selected. Once everything is selected, you can go up to your edit option in the file menu and go down to your auto blend options, click there, and you want to do the stacked images. I would keep seamless tones and colors and content aware fill transparent areas. I will leave both of those selected just to make it a little bit easier on you. You won't. It'll do what's going to happen is Photoshop's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, things that you won't have to do afterwards. So keep those checked. Click OK. And again, this is going to take a minute or two to process. And once it's done, we should have a finished image for the most part. Okay, Photoshop is done blending all the layers. And as promised, we have a final product here where the coin is actually all in focus, which is a little bit more difficult than you might think if you've never taken a macro shot before. This with one shot is impossible to get the whole thing in focus. And if you want to test this out for yourself, use a macro lens if you have one, and get it up nice and close to a small subject such as a coin, whether it's a dollar bill, a quarter, nickel, whatever. Go ahead and try it, and you'll see just how difficult it can be. Now, you do see where we're getting some weird things going on here, and this can all be cleaned up in post. We can do a lot of things with this. We can make this look a lot cooler. And what I'm going to do is in a video down the road, I'm going to show you how to clean this up and how to make some selections to really make this picture look a little bit cooler. There is one last thing we have to do. Since we have all of these layers, we want to save this, but there's no need in this instance to save it with all these layers. A lot of times when you're doing projects and you're doing a lot of different layers, there are reasons to save it has a TIFF or a PSD file just so you can save all the layers, because you may want to go back later and edit some of these layers. But in this situation, I have no doubt that there's no reason for me to come back and edit any of these layers at a later date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here, and I am going to click flatten image, and we'll watch what happens. And there we go. As you can see, now we only have one layer, and we can come up to File, Save As, and we can save that as, I'm going to call it Loonie, because that's what the Canadians actually call that coin, I believe, is a loonie. And I'm going to save it into my 2017 folder, and there it is, and it's saved. We're good to go. Okay, thanks for joining me on Shuttershy Photo today. If you would like to leave me a comment or view some more of my tutorials, please visit my website at shuttershyphoto.com, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.